So last December, I commissioned myself to make dice because I wanted to give it to my dungeon master for his birthday. He was the one who brought me to D&D. At first we played text-based D&D. We played online in a group chat together. And I guess we didn't really know what we were doing back then, but it was fun. There's a different kind of charm to playing D&D in a text-based format because you don't really have the time pressure and time constraint of doing everything live. Instead, the DM have to type everything down in paragraphs and people have to react at their own pace. So sometimes you don't really know when the DM is finished with his exposition unless he asks us what do we want to do or what we want to say, because it's not always clear that that's the end of the narration. And I remember there are moments where I waited for minutes, maybe even half an hour, waiting for the DM because I didn't know that he was finished. He could be still writing, he could be still be typing because he was in the middle of doing something in real life while he was also playing the game. So he just left it there and he went on to do something in real life and I was just waiting. So it has its own funny moments, it has its own janky moments, but it has a very unique charm to it. There is something that you can only achieve through playing a text-based D&D game that you cannot do otherwise, because it has a very different flavor. It's almost like, well, it's not even almost like, it's exactly like the difference between watching a movie and reading a book. When you watch a movie, everything is happening live right now, at the very moment. But when you read, you do it at your own pace. You can read slow, you can read fast, and how fast or slow you read and how much exposition and narration the writer puts down will truly guide your mind and lead you to your imagination. The more vivid the narration and description, the more your brain works in trying to picture it inside your mind. So doing things in a text-based format, it truly makes it feel your own. Even the other characters are beholden to your imagination. It's not how they are acting out their own character, it's how you perceive them through what you've read in the group chat. And that makes the sessions feel truly like your own. Half of the things that's happening is all inside your own mind, so it's yours, it's your experience, it's your story. Back then we didn't even use Discord or a bot to help us roll dice for us. We all rolled using our own methods. Some of us used Google to roll our dice and others downloaded an app on the phone that can roll dice. So we couldn't really tell if anybody were cheating or not, and even if someone were cheating, there's no way that you can tell, and there's nothing we can do about it. I was one of those that used the free app from a Play Store. I don't remember what it's called, but I do remember that after playing a while with it, I started to feel like there's a pattern rather than it being actually random. I know there's not really randomness in the digital space. It's a number generated format thing, RNG, but that's not really the point. The point is, that's how I started playing D&D. So it truly felt like a journey, starting with digital dice that is janky, that is not even random, and now I make dice. The video that you're watching right now is the process of me making 2 sets of dice. I did 2 sets because that's how I like to do my dice. I like to make a variation of the same design 2 times. Sometimes the dice could turn out very different between the 2 variations, and sometimes it could look quite similar. And for this one, it has the same look, but it does have a different vibe. And at the end of the video, you will see into the details of the second dice that I made, because that dice set is the set that my DM chose for his gift. You know, even watching myself make dice right now, it brings me down memory lane. I sell dice as a main product of GB Studio, but GB Studio did not start that way. I started GB Studio as me making lightweight and compact tabletop RPG accessory. The lightweight aspect might have been more difficult to achieve. I can still make things small and compact, but making it lightweight, that's quite a challenge. So now I have small things, but quite heavy. At least they're portable. However, after running this business for a while, it's not quite where I want it to be. I know that I'm not doing my best on marketing and sales because I'm always focusing on designing and production. So I'm not really doing lots of selling, and one could argue that the lack of sales is my fault, but I digress. Another big thing that makes the business low is because I make things for dungeon masters, and there are way less dungeon masters than players. Where I'm from, there could be like 8, 10 players for every one dungeon master, so if you do the math, making things exclusively for dungeon masters means that you're only selling to about 10% of what the whole community could be. I mean, if you can sell items that can be bought by players, effectively, or theoretically at least, that means that your market share becomes 10 times more than what it is, because there's 10 times more people there. 10 times more potential sales because, yeah, more people, more customers. But who would have thought that making stuff for dungeon masters means that players are not ever going to buy those stuff? So, yeah, my fault. And now I make dice. A long time ago, I wasn't a dice goblin. I still kind of am not, but I collect dice. I'm not a dice goblin. I have 12 sets, but I'm not a dice goblin. I'm a DM, okay? I need to have extra sets because sometimes I play with newbies or sometimes people forgot to bring their dice. I'm not a dice goblin. I'm not. For a very long time, I think people becoming dice goblins is unhealthy because it's like basically hoarding. But it's actually a little bit deeper than that. Because when you take the time and take a deeper look at it, there's actually quite beautiful and meaningful reason why people do collect lots of dice. It's for the very same reason why a lot of people like to associate with certain community. People are proud of where they came from. People like that they're Asian, American, European, Australian, African, or wherever they came from. People took a liking to brands. There are people who like big bikes like Harley Davidson, and they adopt the look and the lifestyle. Some people are proud that they use Apple, and they would swear to never use anything that's not Apple. And then there are people that likes Android better. I know some people who exclusively only buys phones from Samsung, and it happens for a reason. It's not just simply brands, but it's an identity, it's an association, it's something deeper. The people that collect dice, to them it is kind of an act of self-love. Every big RPG groups out there, they use the dice, especially the D20, as their logo. Critical Role, Dimension 20, Roll 20. Many of their name even reference the dice itself. The dice is a symbol, it is an identity. It tells you that you belong to the D&D and role-playing community. To these people, the RPG space is their home. It is where they belong. It's a scene that welcomes them and a space where they found passion, they found happiness, they make fun. They found a lot of relationships, friendships, and some of them even found love in the RPG scene while playing RPGs and D&D. These people make so much memories playing these games that to them, it's more than just a game. It's a big part of their life. To these people, collecting dice is more than just a simple act of consumerism. It is a ritual of paying respect to the hobby that welcomes them, to the scene where they can feel at home, to a place where they belong. D&D and RPG games create moments that makes people truly come alive. And that's why they collect dice. Because it's not just about getting a shiny clicky clacky thing that you roll on top of a table. It is an act of bonding to a deeper part of yourself. It is like saying thank you to the world that you found this hobby in your lifetime, and it made you who you are today. And that is how a tool that you use to roll numbers on top of a table becomes art. Because art connects. It connects you to yourself, to the world, to other people. Sometimes getting into a brand, buying merch, being proud of a community that you're associated with is an act of self-love because it's respecting your own history of finding a home for you, somewhere you feel comfortable and where you feel you belong.